So, for those who don't know, I'm Denise Camille. I am the urban love therapist, relationship and self coach, coming to barber shops every week, talking about relationship with self, how to build yourself into a better you, right? So today's topic all around was, do you have rights? Not law rights, but do you have rights? Would you say you got rights? Yes? No? Like humanitarian rights, yeah. Would you say you're born with rights? Yeah? Okay. Would you say you lose rights at a certain age, or would you say that rights are still always there? We're gonna scratch all that. We're not talking about those kind of rights. As a human being, do you have rights? Do you have the right to get up, move around, do what you want to do? Okay, so if you're on a deserted island, do you have rights? Okay, what's your right? Okay, which are? Huh? You got the right to live, right? You got the right to move around, kick sand up under your feet if you're on a deserted island, right?
You got a right to your possessions. You got a right to your family, things like that.
Would you say every day as a human being you have a right to build a relationship with yourself? Yeah? Would you say a relationship is earned? Like, how they say respect is given, it's not earned, right? Most times they flip it. They say most times respect is earned, not given. Yet in reality, respect is given, not earned. Right? So huh? Yeah. You can't just demand respect from somebody who you know is either, let's say they're condescending, or let's say their behavior patterns are not genuine to themselves, or their intentions are not good. Right? So respect is given, it's not earned. Yet, let's say when you're with a friend, is a friendship always created automatically, or you got to build upon it?
Depends on the connection.
Depends on the connection?
Yeah.
So are you never ever building on a friendship?
Yeah, it's built.
It's built? What you got to say? Okay. Would you say that, do you build on your relationship with yourself every day? Why not? Just do? Okay. Okay. Would you say that you as a person, you are determined to build upon yourself on a day-to-day basis? In the terms of like, do you ever say, okay, today I'm going to set a goal to learn how to play basketball? No? So, huh?
I think we learn to deal with ourselves. We don't necessarily try to face the issues.
Okay.
We put up with ourselves.
So you tolerate yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
When I say that, I mean like,
Okay, give me a better word than tolerate. Okay. Okay. Okay.
we don't work on ourselves enough to where we actually make
Some progress. Okay. So,
we deal
where what it is.
ourselves kind of getting down on ourselves, but then just leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. So for me right now, today is day 12, a 90-day challenge. Anybody that's around, what you waiting for? To set yourself up with just one thing to get it done within 90 days. And that actually started, so because I'm also a counselor. One of my clients, and I told her I was going to do it, she's had one goal for like 4 years. We talk about this goal almost every other session, and I'm like, yo, you're killing me. What we waiting on? So I get with her and I say, I'm going to do this challenge. What you waiting for? 90 days. Start one thing. It don't gotta be a real goal, but it could be like, I'm gonna get up and stretch. Or when I leave work, I'm gonna go to the gym for 20 minutes. Something different that you can offer yourself to say, I'm gonna do something different for me within these 90 days. Because again, what it does is it kind of cracks up that complacency. So you realize, oh, I got energy to do something different. Why would I want to be complacent if I could do something different? You know what I'm saying? So it's at that place of learning, hey, if I could do something different, life would be a little bit, change it up, right? So that kind of goes back to that right where you have the right to do something different, to not tolerate, to not be complacent. You have that right, right? You got the right to get up, to breathe, to stretch. Huh? Right. You got to coach yourself, right? You have to be willing to do that for yourself, right?
You can change your life and change your mindset anytime you decide.
Right. Right. So would you say that at some point you have to get there, or you kind of wake up one day and say, I'm going to get here today? Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So you want to do something better for yourself. Okay. So like for me, I realize my brain works backwards. So for it working backwards, I don't know. I don't even ask. I'm gonna have to ask it one day. Well, when I say backwards, I have to work backwards to work forward. Let me give you an example. I'm not talking about yesterday. I didn't say nothing about yesterday. So let me give an example. See? I said backwards. So let's say if I want to go to the gym for 5 a.m, I'm going to. So when I say backwards, I got to think back. Okay, that means I got to get out the house. I got to do this. I got to put the alarm for 3:30 so I can go forward for 5. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I should say. I'm making preparation. I'm a planner, right. And then I'm going to implement to get there for 5 o'clock. So yes, so that's what I do. Right, you're right. So I had the incorrect word, not backwards. I prepare. And I'm always in preparation mode, so I always got to think to go forward. So with that right, my right is I get the right to think to go forward. I get the right to plan. But I think we all have those instincts, right?
You have to apply them, yes, ma'am.
Right. So application is like discernment, right? So you have intuition and discernment. You have knowledge and application, right? So it's getting that mindset of knowing what the right looks like. Because you have the right to do anything you put your mind to, right? So most people, kind of like what the brother said, kind of get in that complacent mindset of, I'll just get up, go to work, and move from there. Yet if you get in the mindset of, let me plan, let me have that discernment to make a change, I want to do something different, why not go ahead and make that right happen, right? So it's getting that ability to know that where do your rights take you if you haven't gone down that path yet?
Where do you write?
Yeah, where does it, because if you know you have a right to do anything you put your mind to, sometimes you don't think your mind is able to go there because you don't want to push past your fear. You get what I'm saying? No? You get what I'm saying? No? So it's getting to push past the fear to know you have the right to do anything you put your mind to. Right. So, and most times fear can look like, because I've never done it, insecurity. Okay. Fear can be an insecurity. So knowing, huh? Doubting of self. Okay. So once you know that you have the right to doubt yourself, what's on the opposite of doubting yourself? Doing it. Right? The opposite of doubting is just doing it. So it's just, and like you said, inspiring yourself. Would you say saving yourself?
Yeah, save yourself.
Okay.
Motivate yourself.
Okay, okay.
push yourself.
So, at what age do you? And I know people say I shouldn't ask at what age, because at any age, a child, an adult can do it. Where do you notice your biggest inspiration comes from?
Hey, prayer.
He said prayer.
Inspiration in my mind is prayer.
Okay.
Just your overall vision of yourself.
The vision of
Where
yourself.
you see yourself, what type of life you see yourself living.
Okay.
All of that really turns out to be like the biggest motivation because
Hey, so,
if you feel like you're slacking or you're not hitting where you think you should be, then you're going to pick it up.
Okay. So you're pushing yourself to do better because of, right?
Because of just that overall picture of yourself
Okay.
and vision for yourself.
Okay. 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 So let's say tomorrow you're deciding I'm trying something totally different I've never done before in my life, right? What do you think it's gonna take for you to take the step to actually do it? Okay. So you have the right to have courage. Okay. Did anybody give you courage? Okay. Okay. Okay.
not until I get done
So you got to kind of release fear and doubt to have courage. Do you think you need fear and doubt to be courageous?
It can motivate you.
Okay.
You don't want to live in fear, so it drives you harder to do courageous things.
Okay. Because like they say, sometimes you got to see the fear and push past it, right? Because they say the sky is the limit. So you got to know where's it going to take you once you get there, right? Most times, what you see, there's greater than what you actually can achieve. Once you allow courage to be your guide, right? So, courage is key to success. So my brother used to always tell me, be like the honey badger, who's courageous, relentless, and I think diligent. That's the word. Right. So he said, be like the honey badger, courageous, relentless, and diligent. Keep going, push past your fears with your business, right? So it's something where I have to be reminded of myself to know that I have the right to be a honey badger, to be like a honey badger, to be diligent, to be courageous, and to be relentless, right? And that's like, you can use that in any part of your life, to be courageous, diligent, and relentless. Yet, sometimes we as humans don't realize we have that right to do all three. Everybody has that same right. Nobody has any less rights than another. So there was a joke that was asked at the barber shop earlier. Do you forfeit your rights when you get into a relationship? You
Compromise a lot more.
but you don't forfeit.
Yeah, no, you can't pick it up.
What do you think you have to forfeit when you're in a relationship? What right? And that's mind-boggling to me because I'm thinking like, why would you want to be less than who you are when you're with someone else who should be accepting you for who you are? Right, so that's supposed to be your complementarian.
I think your significant other should also be somebody that encourages you to be the best version of yourself too.
Right,
So if they see that you're lacking in a certain area, there's nothing wrong with pushing them
right.
to be better, not necessarily change them, but
To inspire them.
yeah, just keep growing.
Okay. So, and I know most times with relationships, sometimes they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? That's usually where the hiccup and the arguments and everything kick up. Yet, would you say that as in a relationship, your mate has to know your way of thinking to then speak to you in a way that it doesn't come off as like, rah, like a growl. It comes off as, it comes out of love. It doesn't come out of like, I'm going to teach you because I'm looking down on you.
You gotta be able to meet people where they are
Right.
and show some grace, especially like I think everybody should compliment each other. So like if you're stronger in a particular area,
Right.
it's a reason why God put y'all together.
Right.
So like they can kind of find you out in the rough area.
So it balance. Okay.
Rather than and sometimes that person will never change. So you have to be that balance for them.
Okay.
Trying to make them balance themselves out.
Okay.
Knowing the difference is important. You know?
So would you say, because I've seen a lot of couples where opposites do attract, yet to me a lot of opposites are actually just back to back. They don't even realize it. They're mirroring each other back to back. That's say how opposite they really are. Right. No, I said I was saying the word opposites, where with couples they balance each other. Yet, for me, being a counselor for so long, a lot of couples don't, but they're really exactly the same. They're just back to back. They don't even know it until I show them. They're like, "Oh, you." What part?
No, it's the couples that is really, they so busy trying to point out the fact that they're so different.
They're exactly alike.
Really, they're doing the same thing and they don't realize that they're mirroring each other because they're doing a lot of the same similar actions.
Right, but not only that, I've seen the ones where they've been together like let's say 20 something years and they just going through a really, really, really rough patch. The way I do the counseling, I got to go back to the root because in order to bear the right fruit, you got to get to the root. The root of who they are is exactly the same. It's exactly the same person. It's just one experiences it from a female aspect, one experiences it from a male aspect. So imagine the childhood perspective of what growth looks like. So they're looking at the same common goal, but it's taking them some time to get there because they're not realizing they started from the same place. So they have, and that's why I get to the right. You have the right to appreciate each other's time and how experiences have taken you to different parts of your life, right? So I think that respect comes into play heavily when you're with a mate because you got to give them their rights that they had before they met you. Most times people are wanting to discard someone's rights before anything else, almost like in I owe you or I own you kind of thing. And like I tell anybody, nobody owns anybody. We're all human beings. No one's better than the other. You can't look down on the next. Or like my mother would say, me today, you tomorrow, right? So that's a place of having humility with who you are when things are moving and shaking in the world today, right? So having that right teaches you to check your rights, see what you have to offer yourself, and see where that takes you, right? Any questions, any thoughts, anything? Oh, thank you. That was a real shocker the first time I seen it. I was like, y'all are exactly alike. Really? When did you notice it? When it was too late? Usually you catch on at the last minute like, wait a minute. The superficial and yeah. You're exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same.
And that'd be the worst one.
What you mean the worst one?
People don't really like to see themselves, especially in other people.
Okay. But okay, so there's something I heard where they say, if you are you, everything outside of you is a reflection of you. Just a piece of it. It could be like a construct in your mind of what you wanted to see or hear or be, right? So let's say you had the mate and you didn't realize it. You were just as, let's say you were just as dirty in the house. Like you didn't pick up stuff, whatever. You did the same things that they did. But you notice it in them because they're on the outside of you. So their pet peeves could have been the same pet peeves that you could have had. But because you're a reflection of them, you're like, well, I got to put you in your place because I don't like what you're doing.
Because we always say you're a reflection of me.
Right, you're a reflection of you. Right. I had a friend tell me years ago with a mate I had, and I was complaining about him, and she was like, don't ever call me back until you assess your reflection of what you are in him before anything else. And I was like, man, that was kind of harsh, yet the best way to learn sometimes is the hard way, right? Like I knew also, if you ever want to give someone real advice, suggest a good self-help book. Because it allows them in the book to read so they can see their imagination and they can understand their own what they need to do. So I had to learn that. But yeah, it takes a lot to self-reflect and have to keep that mirror in front of your face and, keep it there at all times.